Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
It's no secret the hockey program here at Michigan State has taken a complete 180 since Adam Nightingale took over last year. 4 seasons ago, the Spartans won just 7 games, and in Nightingale's first year as head coach last year, the Spartans more than doubled that number. Some players call it the Nighty effect, and as our Haley Schoengart learned from senior Nash Nienhuis, winning is in his blood.
You were alternate captain last year. You're the captain now for the 2023-2024 season. When did you find out that you would be wearing the C on your jersey this year?
I think it was like a month ago. Coach Nightingale called the leadership group into his office and let us know. And, you know, it was obviously a big honor, and it comes with a lot of responsibility too. Like everyone says, pretty cliche saying, but it's true. But, you know, I'm lucky to have such great leaders around me too, with the assistant captains. And you know, a big part of our culture is you don't need a letter to lead, and you know, so that helps a ton. And it's just it's a big honor and really excited to get going.
Your dad played professional hockey for 16 years. What did he say when you called him? He knows the responsibility and what it's like to be a captain on a team. So did he have any advice for you from someone who's been around the block a few times?
He honestly just kept it pretty simple. He was obviously fired up for me, but you know, he said don't change anything just because you're captain. Like, people want you to be there. Obviously, you're there for a reason, so you don't need to change who you are and just keep being you.
Having someone who played professional hockey in your family for so long, do you have any memories of getting to see him on the ice, and did that make you want to get on the ice?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I was really young, he was still playing pro. So I remember, I have memories of going over to Port Huron actually, which is across the border from where I live in Ontario, Canada. But we would go, and my mom and I would watch him, and it was obviously just a cool atmosphere to be a part of.
And your dad also is a musician.
Yeah.
Everybody reaching out, touching me, touching you, yeah. Sweet Caroline. Sing it!
Do you sing too?
No, I'm not much of a singer, but I tried to pick up a couple instruments, and it's just it's not my vibe.
What does your dad think now, growing up with him watching hockey, when he comes to Munn Ice Arena and gets to watch you play?
I mean, every game that he watches, he's just shocked at the pace of it and how good the hockey is. And it's obviously a lot different from back when he played, and it's a lot more skilled and faster, I think, and he thinks as well. So, you know, he's so happy that my journey's come to Michigan State, and he's so happy to be able, it's like an hour-and-a-half drive to my house, so they come up whenever they can, and you know, they love it.
Nienhuis shoots, scores! A rocket up top!
Especially with the ending last season, missing out barely on the NCAA tournament. How has that been the fuel to not only your fire, but the entire team's fire?
I think just being that close, we could smell it, literally, and it obviously didn't end in the way we wanted it to, but I think that kind of fueled the fire again, and our training and practicing, doing extra and seeing how close we were and seeing our potential, and now bringing in a ton of new talent. The sky's the limit for us.
When we were setting up in here, people were saying that you guys lived in this weight room this summer.
I mean, it was a crazy summer. It was by far the hardest summer I've ever spent training, and you know, we had a good group here at the end of May, voluntarily working out, and it was something that I hadn't come to school this early before, and it was a choice I made, and I'm happy I made that choice because, you know, we got in a ton of good workouts and skates, and yeah, obviously it's going to help us out in the long run.
What were some of those intense workouts? Do you have one that is still a nightmare for you?
Just those assault bikes behind you there. Those things, a lot of guys have been leaning over the garbage can after that, I'll say that.
Something else you did in the summer, other than spending your time here at Munn, you were hitting the tennis courts with Nico.
Yeah.
Who do you emulate your game off of?
I joke and say I'm like Nadal and he's like Federer, because I mean, I'm not Nadal's ethnicity, but Federer's from Switzerland and he kind of plays like him a little bit, so we'd always go back and forth. We had some good matches for sure. It's a really hard mental challenge in tennis, especially when you go down and you can't think too far ahead. You just have to go play by play, and I kind of emulate that in hockey too. I think Coach Nightingale mentioned just not listening to the noise and the buzz around the program, just going day by day, get better in today's practice, and then tomorrow you get better, and then We play on Saturday, you focus on the game. Like, you don't want to look too far ahead and like, oh, like when's the national championship game? Like we know that's what we want, but you gotta love the grind of day by day.
Now, Nienhuis is one of 9 upperclassmen on the roster this season, and when we come back, we're gonna hear from one of the new upperclassmen who has some deep roots to Michigan State. We'll see you soon.
This segment is sponsored by Shoe Pad.